lifted the cage cover and saw a little girl with no eyes. She raised her hands, first congratulating me on becoming a father, then prophesying I'd die in tomorrow's battle, leaving my newborn son all alone. I didn't buy it. Figured she was just trying to trick me into deserting. Then she said if we rode cows into battle tomorrow, I'd believe her. Cows? On a battlefield? The whole thing seemed ridiculous, so I brushed it off. The next day, I watched the wounded become the lucky ones. Too injured to fight meant a ticket home. That's when our commander brought news. Horses had arrived from the rear, so nobody had to march to the front lines on foot. The soldiers started picking out saddles, which were made from premium cowhide and called cows. That's when it hit me. The prophet's words came flooding back. I hadn't even met my newborn son yet, and I sure as hell wasn't about to die. So I took a hammer and smashed my own leg, got myself sent home. My wife told me word had spread throughout town about how I'd mutilated myself to dodge the war, bringing shame on our entire family. She would have rather had me die in battle than live as a coward. Then she abandoned our child and left. I raised my son alone until he was 13. When the war got desperate, the king lowered the draft age to 14. I tried to flee with my boy under cover of darkness, but cavalry cut us off. Their leader recognized me, called me out for my cowardice right to my face, and said he was taking my son to serve in my place. I begged him, said I'd give anything for my son's freedom. He just laughed. You're broke, powerless. The only thing you've got left to trample is your dignity. Kiss my foot and I'll let you go. For my son, I did it. An old beggar saw the whole thing and told me it was all because I was too weak. He said the Dark One's power came from a magic dagger, and if I could get it, I'd have that power too. I believed him. After burning down the castle, I stole the dagger and summoned the Dark One. But he wouldn't obey. Instead, he called me a coward and said my son was a bastard. Furious, I drove the dagger into the Dark One's chest. As the darkness faded, I saw it was the old beggar. I didn't understand. Maybe this was the release he'd been looking for. I realized then that magic always demands a price. When I pulled out the dagger, the Dark One's name became Rumpelstiltskin, and the power became mine. From that moment on, whenever anyone crossed me, I'd turn them into a snail and crush them underfoot. My son said I'd changed, that he wanted the old me back, but I knew there was no going back. My son turned to a forest sprite for help. The sprite gave him a magic bean that could open a portal to another world, one without magic. He took me to the woods, and through the bean, the portal opened, swirling before us. Just as we were about to be pulled in, I panicked. Magic was my confidence, my way of protecting my son. Without it, I'd be powerless to face reality. In that moment of hesitation, my son slipped from my grasp and got sucked into the vortex. The portal snapped shut. I was devastated, furious at the sprite, but there were no more beans. Only a curse powerful enough could reopen the portal, and that too would come at a price. But I'd already lost everything, so what did I care? To perfect my plan, I tracked down the missing seer. She told me the path to finding my son was murky, the future chaotic. The only way to see the truth clearly was to take on the seer's power myself. I accepted the transfer. It felt like being stripped bare, layer by layer. At the end of her life, the seer finally found peace. Before she died, she gave me one last prophecy. A powerful curse that would sweep across the fairy tale realm was already taking root, but I wouldn't be the one to cast it. My undoing would come from a 10-year-old boy.